On Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
At 11:43 p.m. on a Friday night, while most of America was asleep, the current president of the United States picked up his phone and typed a message to celebrate the cancellation of a television show. He wrote, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." He posted it. He put the phone down. He went to sleep satisfied. There was a time in this country when a president's midnight thoughts were about policy, about security, about the weight of the office. Walter Cronkite once said that the sign of a great leader is what he does when nobody is watching. What Donald Trump does when nobody is watching is post about late-night television hosts. At 11:43 p.m., with an exclamation point, the next night, Stephen Colbert walked onto the Ed Sullivan Theater stage for what everyone in that building understood was one of his final episodes.
And now for the next 10 months, the gloves are off. I can finally... I can finally speak unvarnished truth to power and say what I really think about Donald Trump. Look, I promise I'll have more to say about all this after the commercial break over there. Be sure to stick around for that.
The audience that had been coming to this theater for a decade rose to their feet before he reached his mark. They weren't cheering for a show. They were cheering for a man. Colbert let them stand. He didn't motion them to sit. He stood at his mark, very still, and looked at the room. He reached into his jacket pocket. He pulled out a single folded piece of paper. He unfolded it slowly, the way you unfold something you have been carrying for a long time. The audience went quiet. He held it up. The camera zoomed in. It was a printout of Trump's post, every word visible. "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." Colbert read it out loud, slowly, without expression. He read every word as though it were a legal document being entered into evidence. When he finished, he folded the paper back up. He put it back in his pocket. He looked at the audience. Then he said the word, just the word, one syllable, delivered so quietly. The front row leaned forward. He said, "Good." The studio did not erupt. It did something rarer. It exhaled. One long collective breath, the sound of a room that had just watched a man receive the thing he feared most and answer it with the one response that cannot be argued with. Not defiance, not anger, not a speech about the First Amendment, just good. Colbert let the silence sit for a full 4 seconds. Then he smiled, not the performance smile, the real one, and said, "If the most powerful man in the world is posting about me at midnight, I must have been doing something right." The studio rose, not with the sound of a punchline landing, with the sound of recognition. The particular roar that happens when an audience watches someone they love refused to be diminished. But Colbert wasn't finished. He reached back into his pocket. He pulled out a second folded page. He said, "Now, I want to read you something else he wrote." He unfolded it. He said, "This is a post from 3 years ago." He read it. Trump had written that Colbert was a talentless fool whose show was dying, and that CBS should pull the plug immediately. Colbert looked up. He said, 3 years ago. He reached in again, a third page. 2 years ago. Same message, same words, slightly different spelling. The audience was laughing now, the building laughter of people watching a pattern assemble itself in real time. He held all 3 pages up together. He said, "He has been trying to cancel me for 3 years from the most powerful office in the world." He looked at the camera. He said, "And it took a $16 million check from my own network to finally get it done." He paused. He said, "I want you to think about what that says about one of us." The room went quiet again because it wasn't a joke. It was a verdict. Colbert set the 3 pages on his desk. He did not throw them. He did not tear them. He set them down neatly, the way you file something that is now part of the record. He looked into the lens one final time that night. He said, "I have done this show for 10 years. I have said what I believed every single night." He paused. He said, "He needed $16 million and a corporate boardroom to stop me. I only needed a camera and a microphone." He walked away from the desk. The audience did not sit down for 4 minutes. Trump posted the next morning that The Late Show's ratings had been a disaster for years, and that CBS had made a smart business decision. He did not mention the $16 million. He did not address the 3 years of posts. He did not explain the midnight timing. Colbert's 3 pages were still on the desk. The cameras caught them as the credits rolled. Subscribe to the narrative brief and turn on notifications. Trump used 14 words at midnight. Colbert used 1 the next night. We both know which one landed. The patterns repeat. We slow them down.